Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Letter. Last episode, we got grudged. Well, no, it was a nightmare involving the ghost grabbing our legs while we were in bed, but it honestly just, if anyone has seen the original Japanese Grudge, they'll know what scene I'm talking about. The scene where the grudge just pops up in the person's bed and just takes him. Yeah, I know. But, yeah, I mentioned before in my last video, too, about Doki Doki Literature Club and how I have the recording. I think I might actually just re-record that, and just see how that goes. But for now, I want to continue on this, because as much as I want to do Doki Doki Literature Club, I really just want to continue on this game, because after that whole thing with Zach and whatnot, with the ghost, seeing the ghost in his camera, I really just want to continue. So yeah, let's continue, and hopefully not die. A bench on the park is far from the most private place for thoughts in Luxmorn, considering its location at the heart of a bustling city. But in the early hours of the morning, it provides enough peace and quiet for any poor, problematic soul who happens to wander here. The city is just waking up, a little later than usual. But knowing what day it is, one can't fault it for being a little tardy just this once. Yet neither the pleasant morning chill nor the soft twittering of birds does anything to abash the images. Every single one has rooted itself in my head. It claws, digging deep in what is no longer a safe place to hide in.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge
Random
is
little
falling
girl
down,
singing, okay.
My fair lady. Take a key and lock him up, lock him up, lock him
Why
up.
does it have to be
Take
London
a
Bridge?
key and lock him up, my fair lady.
It used to be easy finding some present of peace under the guise of sheer optimism following regular routine. Now I don't know what to make of it. Sometimes it's easier to... Who is singing? Sometimes it's easier to run, easier to hide when everything's falling apart. That way, you don't have to be the first to witness it when it does. It worked when things went bad with the movie, after all. It also worked when Mom and Pa were taken from us. Maybe it really is just better. Maybe it really is better if I just...
Hey, mister!
Hello, random blue-haired child! Your eyes are so huge, oh my gosh! But why is your hair blue? Like, I understand everyone else, but this became way too anime. The tiny voice gives me pause. When I look up, a little girl maybe about 6 or 7 is peering at me. 2 wide eyes overflowing with what can only be natural curiosity one typically sees in children. I vaguely note that St. Goretti uniform she's wearing before returning her greeting.
Hey kid.
Kylie.
Aw, okay, she's kind of cute.
Kylie?
That's my name.
Like, even the kid voice acting isn't that bad here. I know it's not an actual child voicing the character, but yeah.
Mama said it's rude not to call people by their names.
It is true. She then flops down on the empty space beside me. Her little legs, still too short to touch the ground, swings in tune with the song she hums under her breath. I don't mind kids. Nana would often invite the ones in our neighborhood to give them treats. Of course, by then Sis and I were both too old to play with them. But you get used to the commotion eventually. It's not completely as unpleasant as most people would imply. Kylie seems to be a well-behaved kid, anyway.
Oh, sorry. Nice to meet you, Kylie. Is Mama here?
No, but my big brother's with me.
That's good.
He's taking pictures with his camera over there.
Oh, cool. She points to the far end of the park, the one closest to the street where a kid is taking shots of something above him. It doesn't look to be birds because all there is on that side of the park are buildings.
I don't see what's so interesting with the tip of a building, though. I'd take pictures of dogs if I were him. They're cute.
Everyone's into dogs in this game, jeez.
Do you have a camera too, mister?
Yeah, I'm actually a photographer.
Mama said I'm too young to get a camera.
Aw.
I'm sure your mama will eventually give you one. But won't you be late for school like this?
Big Brother will get us there on time. Rowan promised Papa. We aren't going to be late. It's sports day. So it's not good if you keep looking like that today.
Oh. She goes to the school that Rebecca teaches at. Okay. So we're probably gonna see her more in Rebecca's chapter. Huh.
If it ends up raining and we lose, it's your fault.
Hey!
All right, I'll try not to upset the clouds today, kid.
Is it because you're sick, mister?
Before I know it, a smile spread over my face. They say kids are ask the toughest questions sometimes, and they sure do, with how sincere Kylie looks. Lying feels like doing her a huge disservice.
No, not sick. Just having a very, very bad day.
Yeah, dealing with ghosts. That tends to be a pretty bad day right there.
Why is that? Is that like when my big brother ate all of my pudding? He did that once and then cried. It wasn't very nice of him.
Yeah, what the heck? Your big brother's a jerk for taking your pudding. Like, not even asking? Like, what the heck?
Yeah, I think so. You see, there's this mean girl. She's given my friends and I a lot of trouble.
Mean girl and as in ghost.
Hard to keep up when things are like that, you know? Especially when you can't do anything. It's kind of scary. Makes you wish things will just stay as peaceful as they used to be.
Maybe she just wants to be friends with you?
I don't think so.
I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
She already hurt one of my friends.
I'm assuming if Isabella, like, saying that she hurt Isabella, yeah. But if in Isabella's side, because we have several, from what I can gather, we've got several other endings that could possibly lead to our death. It would be like she had died or something. Okay.
What if she's just sad? Or maybe she just wants help.
She has been saying help me a lot, but it's just, I wish she would say more than that. So that I could figure out, like, what do you need help with? You know?
That's what happened with Melody. I let her borrow my crayon when she left hers.
Well, that's good of you.
Now we're playmates.
Aw.
It's not really the same thing, Kylie. What she did, they're pretty bad things.
I still think there's another reason. Did you try talking to her? That's what Mama said I should do.
Your mama is smart, but it's a little more complicated with ghosts, I think.
I don't think that'll work either.
You haven't even tried yet. You sound like Rowan.
She's perceptive. I don't think Zach has tried to talk to the ghost.
You're just scared, mister.
That too. That strikes a chord. Maybe it's the honesty in her tone or simply the truth of the word itself. I don't know why, but I can't help it. I laugh. Loud enough to disturb an elderly couple taking a leisurely walk nearby.
Why are you laughing?
That's nothing. You're a really smart kid, you know that?
That's what I've been doing, ain't it? Go full speed ahead, then backtrack when the going gets tough. Stay in my safe zone because that's what I know. Once Dr. Navarro said I should be the first one willing to deal with my problems before anyone else. I didn't show up on our next appointment after that. But he's right. And though I hate to admit it, knowing what I've seen, but the kid makes a good point too. I've been so caught up thinking there might not be a way out. Maybe there isn't, or maybe there is, but that doesn't mean I should just leave it up to fate. Aren't spirits supposed to be humans before too? Had people they cared about? Lived a life of their own? Smiled and laughed like the rest of us does? Do they really lose all that after death?
You better get to school, though, or you'll miss sports day.
Yeah. Go,
You should
kid.
win yourself some awards, alright?
Yeah, win all the awards. You can do it.
Alright! Can I show it to you when I do? That can cheer people up, right?
Yeah. In the distance, her brother calls for her, and I took that as a sign to leave. Got things to do, to face. The first few steps, they say.
Nah, I'm good now, I think. Thanks to you. Besides, Mister needs to go. But you should show it to Mama and Papa. I'm sure they'll be proud of you, Kylie.
I will! Thanks, mister! Bye!
Bye. I give her a little pat on the head before heading my way. A small gesture of thanks from a stranger she didn't know she might have helped. She may not understand it now, even though at such a young age she already has this understanding of things. But maybe when she's older, when the world no longer seems too big for her.
But aren't you going to help me?
With what?
Oh shit. Yeah, wait, what? Confused, I glance back. Oh god! And I hear the ghost too. What the heck? Oh god, why, what happened to your face? Jesus! Whatever cheer her little talk brought has vanished under the shadows, suddenly dancing in my eyes. This frigid air is most definitely not how a morning chill should feel like. Bitter, stinging, and welcoming. And the kid.
What do you think, mister? Are you going to help me?
What do you want from us?
Yeah. The response never comes, however. It never frickin' does! Because when I blinked, gone.
Hello? Mister? Are you okay?
For several passing seconds, I let my stare linger on her face, waiting for any sign of another change. But all that remains in there is the carefree smile of a child. None of the spite, none of the cold, bloody smile.
Nothing. I really need to go, Kylie. It was nice meeting you.
See you again, mister!
I break into a run. I don't look back. Not even as I bump into a couple of passers-by as soon as I'm out of the busy streets. Going insane, this is what it is. And if we don't do something soon, we will all be. The tremors follow me, even as I get home. I hoped a little stroll around the block for a few hours would help. Zachary's nightmare became worse with each passing day. To help clear his mind of the unwanted images, Zach took a visit to the park. There he met little Kylie Suarez, a precious young girl studying at St. Gorte. Also, I gotta say, the little girl is cute. I question the blue hair, but the little girl is cute. Not when she's possessed by the devil, for crying out loud, but... Instead, I am assaulted with more images of her smile, the loathing in her eyes, the stench of gore, the horrid crunch that comes with every movement she makes. Even old memories have been sullied by her, and Ma's song no longer sounds as sweet as it meant to be. In the end, all I got is a sinking feeling. I will never be rid of her image, and another ridiculous idea that may or may not even work. The sun is already hanging low on the horizon when I make it back. And for the first time, coming home feels more like a chore. Only I didn't arrive to an empty room, because as soon as I open the door, I am greeted by none other than...
Sup, Z-Man?
I told you we should have called him before going here.
It's fine.
It is Ashton I see first, sitting comfortably on my couch, munching on a bag of chips with both feet propped atop the coffee table. Rude, dude. Whatever proverbial stone has made a home at the pit of my stomach automatically flies right out the window at the sight of him. But before any exasperation can set in, my attention is taken by the other occupant in the room. Isabella perches on the only other chair in the room, attempting to make herself smaller, it seems, from how closely she's hugging her arms against her. Nevertheless, she gives me a small smile when she notices my stare. Yet somehow, there ain't any warmth in it, like it's supposed to have.
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment.
Dude, he should pay for that then. What the heck? 13 locks? What's wrong with you, Ash?
And stop calling me Z-Man.
I didn't break anything this time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And, hey, is that my...
Ash smirks at me, because of course, he has the gall to smirk, knowing what he did. He pops in what's very likely the last piece of chip into his mouth and folds the wrapper neatly on the table before throwing it into the nearby trash. From her chair, Isabella shoots me an apologetic smile as soon as the foil hits the waste bin with a dull thunk. Common sense dictates that I should be angry. But after everything, having something normal play out in front of me, no matter how childish their antics can get, I can't help but bring myself to muster even a tidbit of it. Behind me, the television starts blaring the music of the end credits for a movie. They have likely been waiting for a while if Ash has gotten impatient enough to rummage through my cupboards and watch something.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? It's free food, you know. What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food? What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Well, Ash only shrugs at the question in my eyes. I can't be the only one who finds this vibe she's giving off to be odd. The guy has no doubt already caught wind of it.
Aye. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for.
Oh.
Ash, he's the one who...
She casts a brief glance at Ash, and in an instant he sits up. Every trace of amusement is gone from his face as he clasps his hand in front of himself and leans forward. A minuscule gesture meant to ease, yet the grim expression on him tells a different story altogether.
All right, you two, what's this about? I don't like those looks.
Yeah, he has seen the ghost. I bet you he's already seen the ghost.
What I said was weird. I'm aware of that. But I'm not taking it back. Isabella's not the only one here who's seen it.
A short but tense pause follows. They're both stalling. Under normal circumstances, I'd wait. With these two, the more you force it, the more they'll clamp down on it. But as a handful of seconds continue to slip by, the unsettling feeling in me also grows with it. Soon, it turns into impatience. Before I can demand a response, though, one of them finally speaks up. It is Ashton who first breaks it.
I'm not asking you to.
Okay, so I guess if we had fought with Ashton, whatnot about Hannah, it would have been Isabella that spoke. Okay.
No, you're right. There really are some odd things going on here lately.
You think?
How is everything with you lately, Zach?
Not good.
Hold on, Ash. Both of you. Did I just hear you say that? Is this why Isabella's here? Has something happened?
Calm down, we're just here to check on things. So, did you meet Andrew about the photos?
What photographs?
Said photographs had been sitting untouched since the day I dumped them in my drawer. Ugh. I don't like looking at them. Isabella goes very still when I hand her the small stack. To her credit, she does not flinch like I'm expecting her to, and flips through each of it in silence. But while her eyes remain strangely calm, her hands have gone rigid, and her mouth have set into a thin line. She, out of all people, understands what this means. In hindsight, she should have been the one I approached before Ash.
What did Andrew say about them?
It could be one, but there's no guarantee it's a supernatural thing. It doesn't always happen, so that's a dead end right there. Now that I think about it, bothering that guy for this feels pretty silly now. But with the dreams lately...
That's all? Did he say anything about the damn letter at all? Did you ask him even?
I pause, glancing at him skeptically. I don't know where this sudden curiosity is coming from, but if Ashton, calm, cool, collected, always logical Ashton, takes interest in this, something or someone must have fucked shit up somewhere. Or the world is ending. Yeah. Seconds pass. The apocalypse I'm expecting to go along with it doesn't arrive, however.
Yeah, that's really everything. The letter kind of slipped my mind. The photos were more important at that time. There was some stuff about the local horror stories, though. Talked about the curses, and he was really fascinated with the story about a wraith asking for a sacrifice to move on. Kinda nasty if you ask me, but it does make sense if you simply go along with it. I'm not sure how this will help in the grand scheme of things. Why are you asking about this anyway?
Yeah. So did you see the ghost or not?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something.
Oh, shoot, right, Rebecca! Duh! Okay, it was Marianne, then Rebecca, then Ash, then Luke. But yeah, Rebecca! She was at the party. She would have seen the ghost, maybe at some point. Oh, God.
Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
Are you sure you even have the time? Ain't you busy with your current case?
Yeah, what the heck?
I got taken off that one.
Oh.
You didn't say you were taken off your case.
I just got the news this morning. Apparently the higher-ups think I'm doing a horrendous job at it.
Oh.
It doesn't matter though. If these two cases are connected like I initially thought, then regardless, I'm on the right track.
Are you sure we should even be doing this?
Be doing what?
Doing what exactly?
Yeah.
There's someplace we'll visit after this.
Too vague for comfort, Ash.
Yeah.
And please don't tell me you're bringing her with you.
His affirmation comes in the form of a stare, but that alone says all I need to know. What I pointed out gives him a pause, though, and his voice is thick with hesitation when he addresses Isabella.
You know what? Zach's right, Isabella. You don't have to come with me.
It's not myself I'm worried about. It's you. I'll just do this myself, if it'll get you into more trouble with your superiors. At least I can make up an excuse why I need to be there.
Don't be ridiculous. You're not walking in there without me. Besides, I think it's a little too late to back out now. Have you two seen the news this morning?
I haven't, actually.
No.
Mama called, and I was busy.
The change in the air around her, whilst small, cannot have gone unnoticed, and it takes every willpower not to ask. Probably the only thing reining in my curiosity is the fact that Ash himself haven't brought it up either.
No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Oh God! Man burned after room catches fire? He grabs the remote and cycles through numerous channels until he gets a news report about another guy who had been found dead in the early hours of the morning today. Jesus, who is this? Burned alive this time. God. Oddly, no fire has spread, and whatever damage has been contained within the place the body was found. The room itself, however, has been completely vandalized. Help me. Help me. Help me. Another murder, the authorities claimed. Isabella and I knew better. None of us shifts even after the report ends, but the room has suddenly felt stifling. Ashton's eyes have gone hooded with what appears to be a restrained anger, and the remote in his hand cracks mildly under his grip. The stone is back in my stomach. A tiny little thing gripping at my insides, growing with every passing second as the dread sinks in. In the thick of it, Isabella's voice is the one that breaks the hush. A small, weak thing on its own that wavers unevenly between words, but every syllable heavy with meaning.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
No, sweetheart, no you didn't. You did not do this. Not you. You didn't do this. It's just the ghost, it's not the letter. When it fades, all that is left in the air is her doubt and fear, while all we can do is cope. Is there something I can say to her to make her feel better? We can fix this.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here.
Yeah, we can. We can totally fix this. Yay, why not?
4 if you count Rebecca.
No, she's staying away from this.
She lifts her gaze at me, eyes steady and shoulders squared as she holds it against the baffled look I give her. Although the next second it immediately softens, and it takes me by surprise nevertheless. In those brief moments, it's like I faced a different person.
I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking.
Still in all, that's 2 extra heads who can do the thinking. Between us 3, I'm sure we'll figure something out pretty soon.
Yeah.
Don't make this whole thing sound like it's a piece of cake to deal with.
I'm not, but optimism is a good thing.
It ain't. But better than sitting around, yeah? Plan is still a plan.
You're going to shoot yourself in the foot one day with that kind of thinking. We don't even know who's doing this. The last 2 murders might just be similar incidents done by 2 different suspects.
Hasn't stopped you from going after them before. Remember that time when you...
Okay, stop right there. There will be no retelling of that incident today, Z-Man. Or ever.
What incident?
Keep calling me Z-Man and maybe I will.
Oh God. Suddenly Isabella laughs. Though muffled by her hands, it rings light and easy against the thick tension in the room. Still a far cry from the casual cheer she carries, but brings a welcome shift in the otherwise dreary mood.
Thanks, you two.
I'll tell you about it when he's not around.
Yes, please, I want to know.
Give it up, Z-Man. She's not interested.
Who says I'm not?
Yeah. Ash makes a face but chuckles at the jest despite himself.
Why am I even friends with you two?
And like this, most of our worries ebb away, if only for a few moments. They take their leave mere minutes, close to sundown. But regardless of the lighter mood, little has been said of their plans, only vague hints of what they're aiming to do after. While it ain't any of my business to know, something about this whole thing still gnaws at me. A tiny passing thought urges me to do something as well. At this hour, the streets are once again busy with people heading home after a hard day's work. Little of the bustle matters to them as they step out the crowded walkway, however. Ash, especially. There's only his goal in his mind, and I'd wager there's nothing I can do to stop him at this point. He's probably decided on it long before they made the decision to drop by. But despite this, Isabella lags behind. A worried crease is back on her forehead as she watches Ash leave to get his car.
Something wrong, Bella?
No, actually, can you check on Becca for me after this? I really didn't get the chance to tell her where I'm headed off to. Tell her I'm okay and no, just that. That's all.
You sure I should skip on that part? If she finds out about this, she'll be angry. I don't really want to deal with angry Rebecca. It gives me a stomachache just thinking about it.
Neither do I, but I'll handle it if she gets mad. Just make sure she's safe and tell her to be careful. You too. Take care of yourself.
Almost abruptly, she pauses. The gaze in her eyes harden as she lapses into another one of those long-distance silences from earlier. This ain't just because of the whole fiasco with the letter anymore.
I don't want what happened to Rose to happen to you guys as well.
This one cut deeper. Before I can ask about it, Ashton returns, casually swinging his car keys in one hand and gestures at Isabella.
Come on, we don't have much time. Shirley's waiting.
Who's sure? Oh, right. Don't answer that. I don't want to hear it, you huge dork.
Says the person who gave her stuffed toys names. Batcat? Really?
Hey, shut up! Naming your stuffed toys is awesome. You can name your car too if you want, but still, don't diss naming your stuffed toys.
It's cute. Yours is just weird.
I'll see you later, Zach.
Okay. She spares me another smile, and as I watch her walk off, only now did it occur to me that none of those she gave today ever did reach her eyes. I make a grab for the back of Ash's parka. He staggers briefly before correcting himself and shoots me a confused stare.
Is she all right?
Huh? What? Who's okay?
Isabella. She's been, I don't know, out of it today? Did something happen earlier?
The scowl on his face says it all.
She's actually been like that this morning. I'll ask, but
Just do me a favor and watch over her. We have no idea what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to her since the last time I saw her, but from how she's been doing today, whatever it is, seems like a pretty big deal. Wait, you didn't annoy her again, did you? Because I swear to God, if you did, you've got another thing coming for you.
what? No, why would I? Just so you know, I already apologized for the one at the movie house. Granted, she deserved more of an apology, but I meant it that time.
Yeah, you big freaking dork.
I'm just asking. I'll take your word for it. But if you can find out what's bothering her, that'd be nice. Honestly, I don't think it's the letter this time.
Yeah, I think it's actually the actual ghost itself.
I'll see what I can do.
Make sure you keep yourself out of harm's way, alright?
Yeah, you too. Don't do anything reckless again.
Reckless, no. But I can't make you to promise I won't do anything. After seeing that, there's no way in hell I'm going to pretend there ain't a problem when there is. This is a really big one, and I'll be damned if I let anything happen to you guys while I sit here.
You're a good guy, Zachary.
I'm done running when things get tough.
I'm just smiling at that. Zach is such a good guy, like, even with his horrible backstory, but... he's such a good guy. He's about to argue for a moment, but
Look, bro, if things ain't good, I'll be the first one out. But allow me this one thing, aight? Just this one time. If it doesn't work out, you'll be the first one to know. You can laugh then, or berate me all you want. But please don't ask me to step aside like I'm incapable of doing anything to help.
I have no idea if it's the look on my face or the tone of my voice. Ultimately, although his mouth presses into a thin line, he nods.
All right. Stay safe, Zach.
When he stumbles into the sidewalk and allows the afternoon crowd to swallow him whole, I like to think the tiny gleam in his eyes is the closest we can get to optimism in this situation. Upon returning to his apartment, Zachary was greeted by Ashton and Isabella. Now suspicious of what was happening, Ashton informed Zach that he and Isabella will try to get to the bottom of this. He also warned Zach to be careful. Whether that alone will be enough to give me a peaceful sleep tonight remains to be said. Okay. Night falls, and despite my best attempts, sleep continues to elude me. With her image still stuck in my head, flashing every few moments, it catches me off guard. With Ma's lullaby still echoing in my ears, no longer the soft tune it once was. And the terrible gnawing at the pit of my stomach. It's no wonder I can't bring myself to drift off even for a little while. It is not as if there's a complete lack of things to do while waiting for sleep to come, if it ever will. And at 2:45 in the morning, I find myself cleaning my photography equipment for no other reason than just to pass time. Oh boy. Though, if I am going to be honest, it is not the night terrors that are keeping me wide awake tonight, but the anxiety and the hope that I'll hear Ash from or Isabella soon. And for what's perhaps the 42nd time, my eyes shift over to the end of the table where my phone lies still. I've not heard from them since they left. They haven't promised a call, of course, but a small part of me wishes they would have, the common sense at the very least. Waiting is a tough game, and with the concerns stretching out the minutes far longer than usual, it is impossible for more unpleasant thoughts not to enter my mind. Moreover, it does not help that when the clock finally strikes 3... What the fuck? Why? Is her body stretched up there? What on earth, woman? My hand stills. It's been a complete and utter lie to say my heart didn't leap straight to my throat in the brief second. My whole body had gone motionless, ears straining for any further sounds. Oh god. Yeah, it's like she's pressing herself up against the wall in the corner. Oh, and her leg is too. Oh, that's so creepy. A couple of tense seconds pass. Nothing. Of course, with how old the building I'm staying in, power fluctuations ain't anything new. It's not that, buddy. Every now and then, this would happen, leaving a few tenants in a rather bad mood. Nothing unusual anymore after a few years of living here. But this time, the sudden hush brings with it a stillness that raised the hair at the back of my neck and set my heart beating hard against my chest. Something reeks in the air, and in an instant, the place is no longer home. It's a prison. Every rational fiber in my being screams at me to leave. I force myself to swallow and keep a clear head as I lay down all my cleaning tools and begin to gather together the rest of my things scattered about the table. The camera's body, lenses, filters, diffuser, phone, anything that my hand could reach. But in the resulting panic, like in the nightmares, It is the scent that reaches me first, a foul, putrid smell filling my lungs with the heavy stink of death. My fingers clamp tightly to the camera, holding it closer to my body, as if the tiny thing would provide enough protection to whatever is with me in the room. It won't. But it's the only comfort I have. And knowing that, whoever she is, she had once been human. Perhaps not all of it is gone. Perhaps some of it is still there.
Hello? I know you're in here. What do you want?
Something moves behind me. A soft clutching over the walls, followed by the squelch and painful crack of what can only be rotten flesh and broken bones. Without hesitation, I whirl around, my fingers and camera ready, patiently waiting for another movement.
I can help you. Whatever it is that keeps you here, I can help. That's what the letter's for, ain't it? You don't have to keep taking people's lives.
There's a brief moment of silence after, and for a short while, I think my pleas worked. Then, with no warning, the shuffling resumes, and along with it are the sobs of a woman. Where are you? Oh God, when did this become Fatal Frame? The light flashes, fleeting one last time, allowing me a glimpse of her grotesque, misshapen features, before it once again lost in the darkness. All of a sudden, her tune changes, no longer a soft cry, but a high-pitched shriek, brimming with pain, grief, and anger. Every ounce of courage I've mustered flees my body at the sound, and the next thing I know, my hand is gripping the knob, and I wrench the door open. Her wails follow me as I flee into the night. Pacing has always been more of Ashton's thing than mine. When I want to think, I sit and let the minutes tick by until the ideas come to mind, or my pulse settles down. And yet, dried leaves and twigs crack under my shoes as I make another pass at them. Terror is too mild to describe what it is. There is no way in hell I'm going back. Whatever she is, pleading won't work. The moment we saw the letter, she's been after us.
But I can't run. Not this time.
Yeah. Nearly 2 hours have gone by since I've left the comfort of my room for the solitude of the park. 2 excruciating hours since I've started making calls. No one's answering. Not even Rebecca, who's always kept her phone line open in case other people need her. Or Isabella, who frequently checks hers for any messages and readily responds as soon as she can afford. It does not help that Ash hasn't said a word to where he went off to as well. Okay. Well, I'm gonna save that here. Oh God. That became Fatal Frame. Ugh. God. Oh, reminded me so much of Fatal Frame right there. That last bit. Well, I hope you guys liked this episode of The Letter. Next episode's probably gonna be the last one with Zach. It makes me wonder what's gonna happen next. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you all in the next one. This is Cat Demon 43. And I hope you all have a wonderful day, week, night, whenever, and I hope to see you all in the next episode. Bye, guys!